What you say? We are live and in living color. Hello, everyone. My name is Brandy Woods, the millionaire midwife and your millionaire child care success coach. And I'm so excited because this is the kickoff to our back to school summit. So tell everybody, call your neighbor, call your friend, call your man, call your sister, and let them know that B Woods is on. And I cannot wait to share the next few minutes with you. As you come in, don't forget to tell us where you're from. And make sure you let us know if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, whichever one it is. We're very excited that you're spending these minutes with us on tonight. All right, guys. So as you guys know, our back to school summit is starting on tomorrow. But I wanted to kick off tonight with one of my favorite people. And I wanted to make sure that you knew exactly what to expect over the next few days. Now, if this is your very first time attending a summit with me, let me know in the chat that it's your very first time, because I want to know. If you've been here with us for other summits and other challenges, that's great. But for many of you, this may be your first time being with us in one of our challenges and one of our summits, and we want to welcome you. So the Childcare Millionaires Summit, it will start on tomorrow is our actually start date. And we have speakers and industry leaders from all over coming to, share with us, coming to encourage us, coming to get our mind right, coming to get our bank account right. They're going to be all here live and in living color just to pour into you and your business. And I see my good friend and one of our speakers, Beth Cannon, is going to be on. So welcome, Beth. Welcome, Beth. Thank you for joining us tonight. So you will see Charles McGill tonight, Beth Cannon, Dr. Connie, Dr. Deshannon, Latrice Crawford, the child care chick, Monrae Tuggle of Marketing by Monrae, Natalie, Stacey, Tameka, Tequila, Shabazz Cooper, and Troy Howard, and a few special guests. So you want to make sure that you're in the place. If you're going to be there, just put me in the chat. I want to see you. I want to see those comments start rolling in. Let me know that you're going to be there. Why do we do this event? We really do this event because at Childcare Millionaires, we are so focused on making sure that our owners have what they need, right? And so in order to be a profitable childcare center, in order to run a profitable business, you got to get some information. Simone says, listen, I'm going to be there. Alyssa says, I'm going to be there. Facebook user, give us permission to see your name. They say, I'm going to be there, because what we want to do is we want to always lay the stage down for success. And if you're hoping that the 22-23 year is your most successful year ever, that you have staff that are prepared and willing and ready to work, if you have kids that are excited to be in your program, if you want your bank account to look a little bit fatter than it looks today, if all of those things are important, you need to be in the place, because we're expecting this year extreme growth, right? Extreme growth professionally, growth in our business, and growth in our profits. So we want to make sure that you understand why you should be here. So listen, we want to get started right. How many of you know that there have been years that you had a rocky start, but this is your year? If this is your year, I want you to type my year in the chat. For me, this is my year that I want to get started the right way. We started this year by doing a staff retreat with our staff. We started this year by really refocusing on our core values. We started this year by remembering our whys and why the main thing is the main thing. So if you believe that this is your year and you want phenomenal things to happen for you, I want you to type my year in the chat. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and begin to make a declaration that this is going to be the best year yet. This is going to be the year that I'm at 100% capacity. This is going to be the year I have no revenue gap. This is going to be year, me as a director, I'm going to take more ownership of my role. This is going to be the year where I do those special events that I've been wanting to do. I want you to begin to declare this is your year. Now, the way that you're going to get the most out of the summit is to please join our Facebook group, right? And I know there are about 200 of you waiting to get in the group. I promise you tonight, we're going to let everyone in the group. I saw all of those requests today and I was like, whoa, what happened? So we're going to let you into the group, but we will be right here over the next few days, really, really learning together. But the conversation will happen in the Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, please do. And then if you haven't gotten your VIP bundle, put VIP me in the chat. Now, I know some of you are in the group and you got your VIP bundle. There are about 100 of you that got your VIP bundle, but we know that more of you should. So, Brandy, what's in the VIP bundle? You get a toolkit with 140 pre-K activities. So you need activities for you and your staff. There you go. They're downloadable. You can use them again and again. You may still be using this pre-K tool bundle in 2023, 2033, 2043. So VIP me. Another thing you get is our 100-day back-to-school checklist. So you can go through your center or your home to make sure everything's in tip-top shape. The 20 things you need to update in your handbooks for staff and for your parent handbook. An enrollment checklist, 12 hours of completion. But the thing I'm most excited about is that you would get all of the replays, as well as you will also get a private VIP party with me. Who wants to party with me? She likes to party. I like to party. So I want you to party with me. So grab your VIP bundle. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. We wanted to make sure that we gave you all the tools that you needed to be successful. So grab your VIP bundle and we're going to get this show on the road. Make sure you check out our merch store. We will be dropping new things tomorrow. You guys have been rocking it out. Childcare is my superpower. Is our #1 top seller right now. Like right under it is I'm So Childcare. And then our next 2 bestsellers are Dream a Bigger Dream and Being Broke Ain't Biblical. So you guys have been rocking it out. How many of you have gotten your merch? Some of you have been posting pictures, and I absolutely love it, love it, love it. Somebody said, I cannot wait to get my shirts. And tomorrow, we're going to be doing something extra, extra special. We're going to be giving away some free bags. So please make sure that you're on, because you don't want to miss out your opportunity to grab this. Yes, we're going to be giving out some free bags. So we don't want you to miss it. And the bags are phenomenal. Tomorrow, so make sure that you're on and you get all of the secrets of how to cop your free stuff. So we're ready tonight to bring on my good friend Charles McGill, but make sure you're registered for the summit. And without further ado, let me bring up my friend, my buddy. Hey, Charles.
Hey, how you doing?
Listen, I'm good. I'm so good. I'm great. You know, things are going well for us this year. And I know that we were talking before this about, you know, how both of us have been running the good race of entrepreneurship this year.
Yes.
So tell them a little bit about you and Panda Commission.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm Charles McGill, owner of Panda Commission, a digital marketing agency. We help our clients curate their customer's journey from awareness to purchase and beyond. I'm a former high school principal. I am a co-owner of a in-home daycare, soon to be daycare center with my wife. So, you know, I'm an educator at heart. I just have a passion for kids. I got 5 kids myself. So I'm just somebody who really loves people. I found that I have a gift And what I say is polishing gold. So God has given me an ability to help those that are already gold, help them shine, and that's what I do through my digital marketing agency. And yeah, so things have been going great. I've been in business really since the pandemic, and things have just been really great.
Yeah, I love that. When I met you guys and you were saying I was a former principal, and I was like, me too. And you were like, I have a million kids. I was like, me too. And I
Yeah.
have a daycare. So Charles is like the male version of me. And I absolutely love him and his wife, Jonesy, because I feel like that you guys are making family and business work. And then because you love the industry so much, you're helping other people to shine.
Yep.
And I know how many of you want your business to be seen more. You're like, I know I have something good, but I just want to be seen. And Charles, I find that people are not seen for two reasons, right? Either because they don't know the things that they should be doing, or they're too lazy to do them.
That's
so
it.
I know tonight you're going to give us some things we should be doing, right?
That's right. Absolutely. That is what I'm gonna do, especially focusing like on how to dominate your market. What we found when we started our childcare, we were like many people, we didn't have no one coming. Like, sometimes you get the impression that just because you opened up your business, people are gonna be knocking on the door trying to get in. That's not the case, right? You got to market. You have to make people aware of your business. Without awareness, you got nothing. So yes, that's what we're gonna talk about.
I love that. Help us dominate. Some of us, waiting on dominoes, but we're not dominating. So when they, I want your childcare center wherever you are. And go ahead and do me a favor. Drop what city and state you're listening in from this afternoon, whether you're in the Facebook group, you're on YouTube, or you're on the page. Drop what city that you are that you're calling in from or you're listening in from tonight, because we want to get to know more about you. And we want you to dominate your area. You never know when someone is looking in your city. This is a chance to promote your area right now. Drop your city, drop the name of your center. So somebody may be looking for somewhere in your city, or they have a child that is moving and they're looking for a good referral. So let's do that. So Charles, I know that you have a wonderful presentation for us. I don't want to delay it any longer because listen, the queen has her pens and she is just ready to write. I'm going to be writing with my stylish pink pen tonight. Pink is for profits. So I want you to show us how to get to the people, how to get to the profits. So I'm going to bring your presentation up and we're going to get rocking and rolling.
Okay. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about marketing tips on how to help you dominate your market. So today's agenda, we're going to focus on the professional website. We're going to focus on the quality contact form, your social media presence, and Google ads, and then your follow-up process, which is key. So a little bit about me. Once again, I'm a former high school principal. My new title is digital brand strategist. So what does that mean? So that pretty much means I think about your brand and I think about strategies and I think about how from a digital space that we can like uplift you and make sure your brand shines. So I'm currently the CEO and founder of Panda Commission, which is a digital marketing agency. I've worked on funnels for people like Eric Thomas, Teresa Smith, Words Taylor, lots of different people. And all together, with all our client sales, we've done over $1 million, actually we're approaching $2 million in sales that I've helped our clients make with my funnels. So I'm considered an expert funnel designer, and I'm a very proud husband and father of five kids. So a little bit about us. I wanted to give you some backstory in terms of how we got started. So I was a former high school principal, and after about 2 years in a row, I found myself in the emergency room due to stress. It was March 2018, March 2019. I was stressed out. And the second time I was there, my wife, I remember she told me, never forget these words. She said, Charles, we're not going to lose you to a job. So, when she said that to me, it just really like touched my heart. I was like, okay, I got to do something else. So we decided, to get into entrepreneurship, and she encouraged me and she was like, hey, you got to start entrepreneurship because you're going to do way better than you'd ever do as a principal. And she's like, you got all these big dreams. You be telling me all this stuff we going to get. And she's like, you ain't going to get on a principal salary. Not that principals don't make a lot, good money. We make good money. We was doing all right. but she was like, I know you have bigger dreams and you'll never get there without entrepreneurship. So I went ahead and took the leap, and I left July 2019, left the principalship, and we started an in-home daycare. And that was the first business we started together because I didn't really know. I still, I knew kids. I knew how to manage things. My wife at the time had taught our two young boys how to read. They were, 3 and 2, but the 3-year-old had been reading since he was 2. So I was like, you got a gift in this. You could teach kids. I know how to manage kids and manage business. So why don't we start an in-home daycare? It just made sense. And so we opened up our in-home daycare in 2019. And when we first started, we were struggling. We had no kids. And I was like, what happened? We did all the traditional stuff that people told us. We had got flyers. We put our little, flyer on the bulletin board in different places. We went to the local school, talked to people. We was handing out things. We even ended up getting a table at Walmart and trying to, as people walked in, be like, hey, we got a childcare, come and what nobody trying to hear us, right? I don't know if anybody can relate, but those old kind of marketing tactics just weren't working and where we were at. And so I was like, you know what? I don't think that people really find childcare like that anymore. I think that people, go to Google or, they go online, right? So I had already been studying digital marketing on the side. And so what I decided to do was, actually apply some of those things. And within, so we started that in August. Within 2 weeks, we had filled our daycare, meaning we had got inquiries, booked the calls, booked the appointments. My wife got them in, tore them, closed them, got deposits. We was booked out in 2 weeks. And then about 2 more weeks, we have filled up the sister daycare around the corner. We had another daycare around the corner. We were helping out, fill them up. And then in about 2 months, we had a 40 parent waiting list. We had a 40 parent waiting list, all from the taxes and things I'm going to talk about today. So at our height, we were averaging about $12,000 a month, just with 12 kids, and 2 of them were our own. So that was a little bit of me, working the system and kind of things. I'm a numbers guy and all that stuff. So I was figuring out how to maximize the business, maximize the opportunities. So within 3 months of me starting my business, by the time it hit October, I had replaced my principal salary. So we were good. It was like me, my wife, we got these our 2 boys and 10 other kids, and we were chilling, right? It was good. It was nice being around each other and just doing that. And so, but then the pandemic hit, and then we had to shut down because my youngest son had a respiratory issue. So we weren't sure about how that was going to impact him. We shut down. And then after about 2 weeks of us, having some relief, not having, kids in our house anymore, I looked at my wife. I was like, hey, we ain't got paid. And she's like, okay. I was like, what we going to do? She's like, what you going to do? So I'm like, oh man. So I had to come, get on my computer. I started, looking around, and I was actually building a friend's website because I didn't like the way it looked. And I started praying, asking God, what should I do? And he said, you're doing it now. And that's when I started my digital marketing agency. And so I started it my first month. We did really well, and we just kept going from there. And then after that, my wife wanted to start the daycare again. Once things kind of died down with the pandemic, we started up again, and then we hired an employee. And so we were running that, and that was doing well for a while. And then we actually decided to shut it down again, just because our boys were like, hey, we really want our house back. The agency I am right now was doing really well. So we were like, all right, let's just go and chill it out. Plus we have ambitions of starting a center. So we currently it's on pause right now, but at the height of what we were doing in terms of helping out the sister daycare, they had actually got up to about $18,000 a month, using the tactics of staying full and some other techniques that I taught them. So that's the story that we have of our little daycare that could. And because of everything that we did, we really have ambitions to start our daycare center. That's what we got with Brandy, because we know Brandy is the GOAT in that area. And so we're a part of her mastermind and couldn't be happier. So with that, I'm going to get into some of these strategies that we use, some of these tips. If you guys want to hear some of these tips, go ahead and just, give me a 1 to chat if you want to hear some of these tips on how we just started out at the gate. And by the time, we started really going, I mean, people in the, we have what's called a Family Resources Center, which is the local, like childcare, like city, like support. They had knew about us. Everybody knew. Every time we went somewhere, they knew our daycare name because of everything that was happening online, right? They were seeing all this activity. They were like, they thought we was bigger than what we were. They thought we were a center. A lot of people thought we was a center, and we was just in home. Okay, so I see them ones. Thank you. All right, so first thing you got to have is you got to have a professional website. Okay, professional website. Now I know when I say that, sometimes people are like, I don't really understand what that means, right? So I'm gonna give you some the basics of what that means, right? So the things that you have to have when it comes to a professional website is a logo, right? Let's start with a logo, right? Now there's different ways you can get logos. You can get logos from places like Fiverr.com, which are relatively inexpensive. And then you can go to, up to all the way to people like me, that professionals that, may be considered expensive. It all depends on who you are, but you can, anywhere from $20 to up to, $1,500, right? What the difference is the things you're going to get and how polished it looks and how it scales. So one thing you want to look at when you get a logo is, how is it going to look on a hat? How is it going to look on a shirt? How is it going to look, on a billboard or on a business card? All of these things matter. And so you want to make sure that your logo is professionally done, highest quality, and can fit all these different mediums. So you want to have a professional logo. You also want to establish a color palette. This is very important for branding, right? You want to have that synergy in terms of everywhere that they look, they're seeing the same colors. It reminds them of your brand. And when people can see consistency with your brand, it increases that know, like, and trust factor, right? They start to trust you more because they feel like you know what you're doing, right? They feel like I'm in a place that's professional, right? So color palette, logo, and, whenever appropriate, you want a brand. So the one thing that we did, like, no matter where you looked on our site, if there was an appropriate place to put the logo, we did. If you actually came and physically visited us, we actually gave you folders or different things that had our logo on it. So we want to make sure that it was branded out. So make sure that on your site, you have your programs. Like, what are you offering, right? This is something that's really important. When you build a site, I want you to step back from thinking about, maybe the things that you like on the site versus the things that your customers would like on the site. Like, what are they experiencing? What are the things that they want to see? What are the things that are going to make them feel warm and fuzzy when they go to your website? So you want to think about, the programs that you offer for those people who are going to ask you those questions. I know some of y'all, you get those people, those people that'll call you, those parents that'll call you, and they'll be like, well, what are you going to be teaching, right? What are you going to be talking about, right? What are they going to do all day, right? So if you actually have your programs laid out and they can read it, oftentimes you can avoid that question, especially if it's there. And then your hours, your location, right? And I'm just going to give you like some hacks that you guys can use if you're not sure what to put, because when we first started, I wasn't sure like what to put for our programs and what to kind of, what information to put on the site. I would go and look at the bigger box daycares, centers, like the big ones, like, the Kinder Cares and Goddard and all these different ones, and see kind of like how they did things and how they displayed information. And I just, took that as inspiration to put on my site, because if it was good for them and they making millions and millions of dollars, it'd be good for me too. So that's a hack that you guys can use. If you're not sure, go to somewhere else that's already professionally done and find inspiration and kind of how they laid it out. One other thing that you got to have, high quality photos, right? Got to be high quality photos. Make sure that, whatever you're doing, you use a 4K on your phone, or you use professional or you pay someone to come and professionally photograph your center or your home. Like, make sure that you have high quality photos. This increases the know, like, and trust factor. When you go into a place, like, when you go into someone's storefront and you about to get something to eat, you go to a restaurant and the restaurant doesn't look looks a little like, sketchy, little doesn't look clean, doesn't look kept up. You start to have just certain things that you feel about, like, maybe I'm not going to enjoy my meal. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure if I want to eat here. You don't want to give people that impression. And just like we have that impression, we go somewhere physically, it happens the same way online. So when they see your site online, you want them to get the warm and fuzzies. You want them to feel like this is a professional place. So you got to be thinking about all of this stuff as you display your information online. So high quality photos. Also, make sure that your site speaks to your target audience. So this is actually an example that I'm showing you guys of our site that we used. And it was, this crazy name, Leaky Lee Berry Bear. But if you notice, there's this little girl here, which, some people can't tell exactly what she is. Is she Latino? Is she mixed? Is she black? Right? We don't really know. But here's the thing. what we understood was that for our particular demographic, for the kids that we serve, we knew that there would be kids that look like her. And so we wanted to make sure that parents, when they looked at our site, they can see their child at our center, right? Here's a little hack that I want to give you guys a little secret here. So this beautiful little girl right here, we don't know her. We ain't never met her, don't know her. I went to a site that allowed me to use her as a model and put my logo on her. And so what we did was I put the logo on her and I put that picture there, and it makes it look like this is someone who is at our daycare right now, that we took a picture while she was playing, right? That's what it makes it look like. But that's not what it was, but that's what it made it look like, right? But the point is that we were that intentional about making sure we marketed it that way, right? Because we did end up getting shirts for our kids. We did end up doing all of those things, but we didn't have it when we first started. But no one needs to know that. We just need to draw them in so we can get them on a tour. They can see our facility, meet our, me and my wife, meet the staff, and and sign up. So we got to make sure the site speaks to your target, right? So if you're looking for certain type of parents that want like overnight, make sure you include that information there. Make sure that you have pictures of whatever that's going to look like, whatever that experience is. If you have after school, if you have whatever it is, if you only want to focus on 2 through 5, like there was a time where my wife was like, no more infants, can't handle no more infants, only 2 through 5. So I made sure that on the site it spoke to that. Like you didn't see no pictures of infants, you only saw the 2 through 5 that we were trying to serve. So that is that's the kind of things. And also you want to think through objections, right? Think through like, what are the things that are going to trip people up, right? What are the reasons they're going to tell themselves that it's not going to work, or that they may not want to, go with your center? Think about those things. Maybe it's like, oh, what are the hours don't work, or whatever it is. You think through it and you answer that question on the site. So as they're reading and browsing, they're getting all their questions answered. They're feeling very like secure and being like, okay, this feels good. This is the place I want to take my child. Everything I'm seeing is speaking to me. So I can't wait to call them or, fill out this form. That's what you want to do. And you can do that. You just got to be intentional about it. So that is the professional website part. Now, quality contact form. This is the other part that's really important. So now that you got them interested, right? You got them interested, you got them drawn in. Now, how are they going to contact you? Sometimes we just put our phone number. That's cool, but you want to be able to get their information just in case the phone number, they call you at a time that you're not available or something happens. So you want to capture their information, and not just capture their name, email, and phone number. You want to capture some information to prepare you for the call. So we even include things like, do you want part-time or full-time, right? I'm trying to see the screen. I can't remember what it says, but let's see. Let me maximize my screen. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Enter the age of your children, right? What specific hours did you want to come in? What specific days? Because sometimes they do part-time, sometimes they would have these, strange schedules, all these different things. And so you want to include all that so that when you guys finally talk, you're speaking from a place that you're informed, right? You know exactly how they fit in or not fit in terms of your schedule, how it will work. You can kind of already map all this stuff out prior to the phone call and let them know, hey, I really only have honestly 2 slots available or 1 slot available, and have it not be false scarcity, but have it be real because you've already looked at everything. So you want to make sure you do that. And also because you want their information, you want to be able to follow up with them, should they miss their appointment or whatever. So this is super important to have. And so this is just like a baseline in terms of information, but you can always add more. I wouldn't make it too cumbersome because you don't want to turn people off, but make it easy, make it fluid, and definitely have a quality contact form. So the next one, social media presence, right? You got to have a social media presence. Now, I took a screenshot of this and I wanted you to see our social media presence, because a lot of times we say social media, people think that you got to have mad followers. You got to have a whole bunch of likes and all this different stuff. It ain't true, y'all. I'm telling you right now, I'm somebody who has done very well online, continue to do very well online, and I don't have a massive following, right? It's about strategy. It's about knowing how to do it. I'm not saying anything wrong with having a massive following. That's cool if you do. But what's more important is to know what to do with it, right? How do you get people to eventually give you money or do whatever you want them to do? That's the point of it, right? And so what I know is that while we only had 8 followers, and we only had like 9 posts, every one of our posts were purposeful, and I just wanted enough to where people could see that grid like on their phone, and all the faces would be full. That's all I wanted, right? That was good enough. But everything was about marketing our enrollment. We had more pictures of different children. Once again, look at those pictures of those children, right? Look at them. So this the child right here on the left, the little boy on the swing, kind of looks like my son, right? So we knew he would obviously be at the daycare. So not this specific kid, but a kid that looked like him, right? We put that there. We put the shirt on him, right? We put the logo on him. Every kid had the logo on their shirt. Why would I do that, right? Why do you think I would do that? Well, because I'm showing the professionalism, right? I'm showing, and I'm trying to attract the kind of parent that would appreciate that, right? Maybe the kind of parent that would want, their child in a uniform, or maybe wanted to go to a charter school, or maybe, a private school. We wanted those kind of parents. So we were trying to attract them by putting that kind of, imagery out there. We made sure to, even, talking about the demographic, the ethnicity of the kid. Like that was important too, because we knew who we serve. We knew the community we're in. So we wanted to make sure that people felt represented when they look at our website. And so this is what we did. This was very effective for us. Although we never had a lot of likes, we had a lot of impressions, a lot of reach, a lot of people that saw our stuff. I used to run Facebook ads and boost posts and all these different things from these posts, and yeah, a lot of people would see it. A lot of people would like it. Once they like the ad, they wouldn't like the post. Once again, it wasn't about the actual movement on the social media, this profile itself, but it was about the fact that it was out there. And when someone looked, right? So what they do, think about how they do. People will go to your website. The next thing they're going to do, they're going to wear your social media, right? They always do that. Or they go flip flop, go to your social media, then they go to your website, right? So you have to know how people are going to move about and make sure you put the right things in place so that when they go there, whatever they're thinking or hoping is confirmed, and that just helps you out. So once again, you don't have to have a whole bunch of social media stuff where you got to post every day and do all that stuff. That I didn't find that necessary for us. Now, if you do it, it's good. It doesn't hurt you. It definitely doesn't hurt you. But I would just focus on having that quality content there, enough for them to scroll and binge and see that you are legitimate and keep it moving. So that's what we did with the social media. And then also going into Google. So this was actually our most, if any traffic, if we had the most amount of traffic we got was from Google, without a doubt. Facebook and Instagram was cool. It was good on the sense of like making people aware of us, which is how it starts. Like that's how we kind of got that, almost feel like that celebrity feel when we go to different places and, we would say, our name and the name of our childcare, and people be like, oh, I heard of y'all. I know about y'all. That was really from social media, but and Facebook and Instagram. But when it came down to parents and actually giving us a call and booking those appointments and having us looking up and having 20 voicemails and stuff like that, that came from Google. Okay, so I'm not a Google Ads expert, and you don't have to be either. I literally just followed their prompts in terms of how to create the ads, how to put information in. Once again, what's the hack? I looked at other top tier daycare centers that pay professionals to market. I looked at how they did it, what they said, and I just got inspired and did something similar. I didn't make it hard. I didn't make it difficult, right? That's all I did was just like, okay, let me put the same kind of stuff. And what I learned about Google, what they, with one of their, what I read in one of their sites and kind of was, YouTube and stuff, is that pretty much is pay to click. And what that means is the more you pay, the higher you rank. So if someone in your area that you're competing with is spending, $5 let's say maybe, what were we spending? Say they're only spending like $1 a day to get seen, right? They, $30 a month. They're just spending $1 a day. If you spend $2 a day, you just spend $1 more than them, any amount more than them, you will be placed higher. So what do I mean by that? When you search your in Google, the very top things you see at the very top are your Google ads, right? And then when you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see this area here, where it's the map, and then but beyond that is like the natural ranking, like SEO and all this other stuff. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. But I mean, it's important, but I want you to really focus on, if you want to dominate, you want to run Google ads, right? And so you don't have to spend a lot. We only spent, this is real talk, I put $60 a month on it. It was like $2 a day. That's all I could afford. And it really, we could afford more, but that was all that my mind could allow me to think about at that time, right? At the time, I didn't really know digital marketing and all that stuff like that. I was like, we can afford to lose. This is how I looked at it. I was like, we could afford to lose $60 a month if this don't work. $60 a month ain't gonna hurt us, right? So let me go ahead and put that on it. So I will put $2 a day on it. And I kid you not, because I was doing that, whenever someone searched daycare Stockton or preschool Stockton, we would rank up there. We'd be up there high. We'd be one of the first things they see. They click on it, and our call to action, or what we wanted them to do, we told Google we wanted them to give us a call. So if they clicked on it, we wanted them to route them to like a phone number and call. And so we would get tons of phone calls, right? And it got to a place where I had to kind of like turn it off because we keep getting calls, right? And then I would route them to the form. They'd fill out the form. And I kid you not, when we were really, cooking, like I said, we filled up everything quickly. But once I kind of dialed back the ads, and I went from like $60 to maybe like $30 or something like that, I kind of, played around there. We would literally get 2 leads every single week. 2 leads, 2 people filling out the form saying they want to start daycare with us every single week, even though we were full. And that's how we got that wait list. Sometimes it'd be a lot more, sometimes it'd be less, but we average like 2. No matter what we did, we would just every single week get 2 people saying, hey, I want to start with you guys. And the thing about it is, because our website was done the way it was, because our social media presence, people already had to made up in their mind that they wanted to be with us. Like, it wasn't like we need to do a lot of convincing. They knew it, right? Because they saw everything else, right? Another thing that's important when it comes to your information on Google, make sure all of your Google profile is set up. All of your information in terms of your daycare name, your address, your hours, all that is set up. And also, it's really important is to get reviews. So every time we had a parent that was with us for a little while, we'd stop them. Hey, can you get this review for us? I would send out an email to them, or we do it right there. My wife would talk to them and say, here's a link, do it right now. And we'd have them go ahead and rate us high. And so, that also helps, right? You're getting high rankings. That helps on the search. All of this helps. So Google is your friend. That's what most people going to do. They're going to just Google. They're going to Google it. And if you are actually doing some ads and things like that, then that will help you get parents coming in. Okay. All right. So next, follow-up process. Now, this is key right here. This is what they say, the money's in the follow-up. 100%, especially when it came to our parents and us filling up the daycares, our daycare, and then the sister daycare, is the follow-up process. So once they filled out the contact form, we would have an automated email sent to them to confirm that they had filled out the form and that we would be in contact with them. Someone on our staff would be in contact with them within, I think it was 24 to 48 hours, right? And then what we do at the end of every shift, once all the kids left, we would go to the voicemail on our house phone, and we go to the forms, and we would call all those parents back. Call them back right away. Call them back, see if we can book an appointment with them. Once we booked an appointment, we didn't just book an appointment as in like, all right, see you at Tuesday around 2. No, it was like legit. We booked an appointment, made the appointment, sent them an email follow-up reminder, text, got their number. We would make sure that they made the appointment, right? We remind them of it, make sure that, we told them what they need to prepare for, follow up with them. They get here, they do the tour. My wife would kill it. She would do an amazing job. My boys would act just right for that time to make sure that we didn't leave a bad impression. So they had a good time. They would come, and then once they left, we would give them a packet. We would brand everything out for them, and we would give everything to them physically. And then when they leave, I would send an email to them with all the same stuff, right? Once again, just being super thorough about that experience and that process. And then, we give them an easy way to pay us. We'd have, I think I connected through I was connected through PayPal, and I was connected through QuickBooks, I believe. Easy electronic way to just pay us, the money for the deposit, so they can hold their spot, and we can, talk about when their child would start. So we would do that. And if they didn't, If they didn't hit us up within like a day or two, we would do what? We follow up again, right? We send a text or a phone call to secure that deposit. And I'm telling you, it worked like a charm. This is what we did. This is how we dominated. Within short order, we were full, and we had more parents just waiting on us. And then by the time we decided to stop doing the daycare, it was like, you know, a lot of sad people, a lot of tears, a lot of parents that were like, no, don't go. We had helped out others, you know, and, you know, my wife and I have been talking about and thinking about, you know, doing our own little like course on how to do all this stuff. And that's something we may end up doing, but actually we found Brandy. Brandy's doing an amazing job. So I'm just going to ride with her and support her. But yeah, this is what we did. You know, I hope this was helpful. I hope this made sense. And so with that, I'm gonna leave it up to questions. And Brandy, I don't know how you want to do the questions. If we got to go to the chat or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a few questions. Francesca said, I need that follow-up process. So I know that the fortune is in the follow-up. And if you start following up and you think about, this is what makes me follow trolls. Like, I know a kid in my center is worth $10,000 a year. So I'm willing to follow up to get my $10,000. And it takes sometimes 5 to 7 follow-ups. And it's the people who follow up who always win. So how did you guys keep up with the follow-up process?
Yeah, so we would track it on a simple like Google sheet, nothing complex, you know. The actual, we had Wix, so Wix would keep the contacts listed for us, but we actually would pull that data out, put it into a Google sheet so we can track how many touches we had. And just, you know, because sometimes we call or text, we wouldn't hear an answer. A couple of days we go back to the sheet, we didn't get anything back, we hit them up again. So we just keep hitting people up until they said, I'm not interested. That's pretty much what it was.
I love it. Because you do have to follow up. So for those people who are not really tech savvy, and guys, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. For those people who are not really tech savvy, how can you help them? Because I know that you help people do this, and a lot of times it's great. But I have seen some websites where, listen, I just wanted to just snatch it. If I could snatch that thing off the web, I would, because it's counterproductive to your growth. Pictures being fuzzy, things overlaying, forms not working, sound in the background, everything shaking and baking. It's just too much. So I think that you gave them things that needs to be on their website. But if they're not tech savvy, what can they do?
Well, honestly, you know, I mean, I have to say, you just got to hire somebody. There's so much time and things that you can be doing to grow your business. I don't want you spending a lot of time learning how to do websites. Now, if in terms of cost, now it ranges. You can get sites made on Fiverr.com that are inexpensive. You can go with agencies that are a little bit more expensive. Expensive is relative. Once again, it's all about what you want to, you know, how you want to experience it. I will tell you this. Here is the biggest hack, though. No matter who you have build your website, you want a reference point. That is the one thing that a lot of people don't do. They'll go into the process with someone who's building your site, and you just tell them kind of like, oh, I want this, you know, I want this color, I want this picture and this and that. And it's kind of like, you know, you kind of like, you know, giving a, you know, like ingredients, you know, to a chef, but you're not telling them exactly what the end process is. Like, what am I making? You just give them all the ingredients, so they're gonna make whatever they want, right? And so
he says, do you listen? Do you build websites? The answer is yes, right? Yeah. But this is the thing I tell anyone who's in our organization, there's some things I want you to have on your website. Yep. You need to be able to collect information. Right. One of the things that you need to have is somewhere to collect information for new staff too, because I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I can't find staff. Our best referrals for staff come through our website, not Indeed, not job boards, but people who were actually looking at us.
That's right.
As a final candidate, and then we got their information from there. And one of the things that, you know, just making it easy for customers. I heard you say we sent them an email, we sent them the information, you know, as a follow-up. How many of you out there, you have a follow-up email that gives parents the information they need once they leave, that you can send out with a click of a button. You know, just those little things that will set you aside from other centers, that branded folder, you know, that he talked about, making sure that parents, you know, felt loved and accepted, that they were walked around, that they were addressed. These are all things that will set you apart, you know, from another center. So Vanya, the great thing about Charles, he is actually in our mastermind, so he can definitely reach out to you. But Charles, for Vanya and everyone else who's like, listen, I really need a great website. I really need a great form on my website when parents are interested, or I have other tools I want to integrate into my website and I don't know how to do it. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook, Charles McGill, or I am Charles Digital. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at I am Charles Digital. So yeah, you can hit me up in the DMs. That's the quickest way to do it. And yeah, we can make it happen. Or you can go to pandacommission.com and actually fill out a form to book a call with me. That also works as well. So that's free right now. My I keep getting told by my coach, like, I need to stop doing that. But for now, that's what it is.
Yeah. Someone said that was like an autoresponder. And there's so many things that you can automate in your business, guys, and there are tools that you can automate in your website. A lot of times when you go to these websites and you're like, oh my God, they're so cool, they've just embedded a tool. So technology has made it so easy. You can embed your payment in your website. You can connect just about anything, a scheduler into your website, a voice chat into your website. You know, you can make it as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. But just know this, we're in a digital age and we're dealing with parents who are digital natives. And that means that, yeah, they will call you, but once they've called you, trust me, you've already have their attention. So some of you are not getting calls because they looked at your website and they said it ain't been updated since 1998. And they feel like your center ain't been updated since 1998 either. So if a person is already calling you, if a person is already reaching out to you, they have some information, because we have a more informed buyer. That's why I definitely put my rates on my website, because I want you to be informed. It's not hidden because it ain't changing. You know, but some people like, I don't put my rates on there because, you know, I want them to call. If they call and they don't like to hear, they still gonna hang up. I want you to know from the very beginning that this is what it is. But your online presence, whether it's your Facebook page or website, it gives people a feel about your business philosophy, and who they are working with. And you want to attract the right people. So if you're quality, but your digital home is trash, you know, you're sending a mixed message.
That's right.
Charles,
yes.
Like, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna get messy now. A lot of people, like, they get locked out of their website, and they have paid all this money for a website, and then the person who created it, they went into witness protection. How can we stop this from happening? I know what I do, but you tell them what they should do with anybody they're working with, please.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. Well, I'll say this, you know, just like anything else, you get what you pay for, right? So I know that sometimes we try to, you know, save a little bit. And it was so funny. My daughter, my youngest daughter, said something to me the last night when I was driving her to this play. She was like, "Dad, you know, I don't get it." She's like, "Why is it that sometimes people pay like a little bit of money, but end up having to pay again because it didn't work? Wouldn't it make more sense just to pay a little bit more to get it right done the first time?" Like I was like, yeah, I was, you know. So I will say this, that, you know, just like anything else, when you're talking about, like, I don't know, plumbers, mechanics, anything else, you get what you pay for. So that's one thing to help, is to get a quality agency to help you out, that as reputable, that, you know, has other people that, you know, social proof, all these different things, that what they do works, and they have a good quality process. The other thing that you can do is that when the sites are built, what I do, or what they should be doing, is when they build it inside of their own platform, that you have them transfer it to your platform. Once you have it transferred into your platform, you then own it. When you share passwords, I don't typically share the passwords or have my clients share their password with me. I have them do something called LastPass, which just shares the access that keeps the password hidden, right? So certain things like that you can do where you give them, and actually you don't have to give them, a lot of times you don't have to give them access to your platform, especially if you're using like Wix, because they could just transfer it to you, like literally transfer it to you. I would also never pay 100% up front, right? If you're not sure, right? Now, I personally love to get paid 100% up front, right? But I don't require people to do that because, I want to make sure they feel, comfortable. So some, we'll ask for like half up front, half upon delivery, right? And so you want to make sure that you protect yourself. So if you're not sure, do it that way. Do payment plans to make sure that you get everything that you need before you submit the final payment. So there's a couple of things that you can do to kind of protect yourself, because most of the time what I've seen, I've been victim of it too, because I got so much work. I have to hire graphic designers and all these people to help me. I paid the dude up front, just like cashed him out because I didn't want to deal with it. And I asked him for 3 different things and he did one and ghosted me. Had his money, he was gone, right? So never again, right? So next time I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you a little right now, and then we keep working, right? So that's what we do. So LastPass to protect your password. Make sure that they transfer the site to you if you're using like Wix or other platforms. You can transfer it to what's in your account, and you have access, and you have the password or access, and they can't take it from you. And then also, pay the professionals, right? Pay the people, spend a little money on it. Cause think about it. It's your storefront. It's how you show up online. And it's an investment that if you do it the right way, you ain't got to keep changing it. You ain't got to keep changing the website over and over again. You do it the right way. It looks amazing. You're getting all the compliments. People get the know, like, and trust is high. They feeling it. They feeling you. Let that thing ride, right? But sometimes you got to invest to get that.
I love it. I love it. So I really appreciate that. I know some of you guys have your websites but on complicated things and you can't make changes. Make sure whether you use Charles, which I highly recommend. Speaking of that, Charles, remind me, I need a template from you.
Okay.
Remind me when we talk.
No doubt.
I need that. I need to let me pay you. Let me pay. Just always make sure that you know how to do simple edits to your own website.
Yes.
And so I really suggest anyone who's doing any graphic design, especially if it's a website, any web design, and whether they're fixing it for you, they're changing it, or it's from the beginning. One of the things always asked in your package is, hey, can you do a call with me to show me how to make simple edits? And a lot of people will do packages where they'll edit things, but maybe it's one thing. Maybe you have to close for bad weather and you need to know how to throw up a bulletin. Maybe never buy something that you don't know how to use. None of you would buy a car and wouldn't never start it. Mm-hmm. But when I see people with technology, like, do it for me because I don't want to mess with it. And then you have no working knowledge.
Yeah.
So please, guys, as you go through, you spruce up your Google, like Charles said. You make sure you have enough on Instagram and Facebook, just at least to be seen when people go and search you. It's not like you're a ghost company. You have enough on Instagram, enough on Facebook, and it's all the same information, all branded the same way, so you can really, really, really stand out.
Yeah.
Charles, you did a great job.
Thank you. And I just wanted to add, like what you said there about folks showing you. So one thing that we do is a part of our process. Once again, you pay for what you get. I don't even remember, we don't even list it because this is what we do naturally, is that when we're done with the website, we show you how to use it. We actually do a recording showing you how to swap out images, how to swap out different things. Like, we do that for you as a part of your offboarding to say, okay, now you're good. This is your site. This is how you use it. And then obviously we'll have opportunities for you to be able to continue to, call on us, use our services if you need to. So we always be there to support. So it's not like, we do it for you and we drop it off and then this is all yours. That's it. Like, we always make sure that you're still being taken care of. So that's important. You just want to make sure you rock with people like that.
So Charles, one last thing. I know that you and your wife came to the Childcare Millionaires conference last year.
Yes.
Can you let the people know?
Yes. Okay. Well, first of all, I'll just say, Brandy, like the first time I saw you, I think it was, TSP Live in January. And I tell you what, I just felt like so connected to you, your story. I felt like, especially because you got that tenor in your voice. When you start getting in a certain place, you start sounding like a preacher. And I grew up in the church, and I grew up Pentecostal, and I was like, man, I felt like I was back home. And so it felt so good to just listen to you and your spirit and your story and everything about you. And so I was just connected and drawn to everything you had going on. I was like, man, I love her energy. I love everything she's about. And then, from the stage, just, understanding your story and then all your success in childcare, I was like, man, there's no way that I could, know someone like this and see all the success she has and not go to her conference to experience 3 days of just her, right? Right, just so I can understand. And I tell you what, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that I was down to go just because it was Brandy, and I knew that Brandy would put on a show because that's who Brandy is. And it was excellent. I mean, she had the drums, the drummers coming out, the marching band, what I'm saying? She had all the the sass and it was so cool to see. You're entertained, but beyond being entertained, you're also getting fed, right? You're also having an experience where you're learning things, you're getting inspired. I think some of my biggest moments for me personally was seeing especially for my wife, because my wife at the time she wasn't converted yet, right? She didn't know, right? She didn't know what to expect. I just brought her to Houston. I was like, you come to Houston with me, right? We just gonna figure this thing out. So, but when we saw all those 7-figure earners walk across the stage, all those, childcare millionaires that you have helped, when they got their awards, when I saw that, when I heard their stories about how they started, and how they, eventually got to 1 center, 2 center, 3 centers, like it was just amazing. And then all of that combined with the fact that you tie in, the spiritual element, you tie in your purpose, your passion, you're not shy about your beliefs. And for me, that was just like, man, it touched my heart so much. There were so many times I wanted to clap, that I started raising my hands, like I was in church, because I just couldn't help it. And then I would say the last day, oh my goodness, the last day, I can't front Dr. Connie. Oh man, y'all better go to the summit. You're gonna be in for a treat, and then go definitely to the conference, because Dr. Connie, when I saw her, and when we experienced her, she preached on the Sunday. Oh man, it was like tears. Me and my wife at the time, and the thing is, at the time we were we were going through some things, but we found each other, and we were able to look at each other and cry together, and be fed together. And that message hits home so much. And we left on fire. Right? We left on fire, right? Just totally in unison, holding hands, just really like, hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this for these kids in this community that need us. So man, it was an amazing time, life-changing. And hey, we signed up, we here. You know what I'm saying? We riding with Brandy.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm so happy, because I really encourage men to come to the conference. A lot of couples work together in the business, and sometimes, the male partner, he'll be there, but not as dominant. This is a conference where you can bring your partner, and he's going to feel comfortable. You can bring, your mom, your sister, whoever works alongside with you, your director as well. But we really created Childcare Millionaire, the conference, to be a place where owners can come back and fill their cup, because there's so few events that are just for owners and leaders. So I want to personally invite you to join us in Houston. Childcare Millionaires Live will be in Houston again in November, and we really invite you to join us. But like Charles said, come to the summit over these next few days. The summit is absolutely free. Get to hear from some of the speakers. We have so many important things. schedule for you guys. The summit will kick off with Dr. Connie and me tomorrow. So if you want to hear that fire, if you want to get that fire back under you about childcare, you want to connect back with your passion, connect back with your purpose, please, please, please show up tomorrow. So Charles, I truly thank you for being with us tonight. You have any final words before we go?
I would just say, if you guys are on the fence about anything involving Childcare Millionaire, get off the fence. Join. The water is warm. Brandy is an amazing person, and I'm telling you, she gonna take it as far as she can. Is gonna be really far. I love to be attached and ride with people who I know have the best interests of her people in mind. And so I'm just excited about everything going on with Childcare Millionaires, and soon, hopefully soon, I'm speaking it, that we're going to be on stage as well with our own center. That's right. So yeah, that's all I got to say. You got to come.
All right. Thank you, Charles. Guys, everybody, make sure that you get to the summit. The summit is for you. The back to school summit is for you. It's a time for you to get your mojo going, get ready for the most profitable season of the year, get those kids registered, new staff, new policies, new procedure, and a new heart for what we do. Don't miss not even one moment. We start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. 10 a.m. Central Standard Time we'll start, and we will go until 3 p.m. So you have enough time to get your center settled. You have enough time to make sure everybody knows that you're busy for the moment. Get your pen, get your paper, get your earphones, and be in the place. If you haven't registered, please register at childcaresummit.com. You're going to get so much information to help you grow your business in the months to come, to end 2022 well, and to start 2023 with a bang. Well, it's your girl, B Woods, Brandy Woods, the Millionaire Midwife. Guys, I'll see you soon, but I'll definitely see you at the bank. Don't miss it. Do me a favor right now. Can you push the share button on this video? Push the share button on this video and let someone know that help is on the way. All right, guys. Have a blessed night, and I'll see you in the morning.